I've always wanted to shave my hair, like seriously. Oh my God. Woo.
The removal of hair has always been seen as an act of defiance. For women, choosing to go bald can be a political statement. From Sinead O'Connor's punk pop movement to Denai Guerrera's Wakandan warrior, the act of not having hair didn't just appear in modern culture. But it has great historical and religious significance around the globe. Unfortunately, there's a stereotype that goes along with those who close cut. The perception is that women who have shaved heads are angry, queer, and emotionally distraught. This is Maine, and today we're discussing the reasons behind the buzz, the history, the stereotypes, and the preconceptions that come with the cut. Joining me today are Amanda, Janai, and Aubrey. Both of you will have had shaved heads for about a year, right? And
I'm a weekend.
Amanda, you're a week in.
Fresh.
Very fresh. So Amanda, this is you a week ago, and this is you today.
Yes.
That is a wild transformation. Can I just say that, like, it is so fitting on you.
Thank you.
It really is.
Thank you.
You really look like yourself with short hair. Was there a person, whether a celebrity or someone in your life, that had short hair that really impacted how you viewed the aesthetic or made you want to have short hair? We'll start with you, Amanda.
Wow, I had a lot of influences of short hair.
Okay.
I loved a comic called Tank Girl. I've always loved Grace Jones. I've always loved G.I. Jane. So like I had a lot of experiences with seeing and loving short hair, and I've always wanted to do it, but you know, just never had the courage to, pretty much.
Well, for me, my mom, she's had a shaved head her whole life, ever since I was born. So kind of always like looked at her and saw that, how different she was and how nice it looked.
Right. Moms typically tend to be a huge impact in terms of our aesthetic.
Shaving my hair and going to the Bronx, like I do get a lot of dirty looks because you don't really see that in the Bronx. You always see, you know, African-American girls with the extensions. You always see, you know, the Dominicans, the Puerto Ricans with their long, long hair. And that normally really defined femininity in the Bronx. But I've always wanted to shave my hair since I was younger. I was just like, you know what?
Fresh start.
It's time to cut it off. So I'm here to get my head shaved. I've been procrastinating for 7 years to get it, but you know, I just decided, you know what? F it.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do it.
Here of Emma Gonzalez.
Oh,
So
yeah.
notice she's pretty much almost one length all around, a little bit shorter on the sides than the top. I want you to feel most comfortable with.
How about a 3 and a 4?
Yes.
I was like, can you please just do a 3 and a 4? Because I didn't want to do it too low.
I
So-
never knew the numbers. I just be like, cut it all off. I
Yeah.
never knew numbers.
Yeah, there's levels.
Yes, there are levels.
There's levels.
Do you feel feminine with shaved hair?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, across
Yes.
the board. Okay, hold on, Aubrey, I'm gonna start with you.
Growing up, I actually grew up in like a predominantly white area, so long, straight hair was like the way. And I remember when my mom would come in with me on like field trips and stuff, and people would like give me strange looks, like, oh my God, is that your mom? People would make jokes. But now that I embrace it, you know, I feel like people also embrace it too.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I just feel like if I had the same look, but I didn't like portray my confidence, people would look at me differently. But like, since I know I have short hair, but I still feel feminine, I still feel confident.
That was actually one of my biggest fears, being more like masculine. I feel even more feminine, actually.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
All right. So I'm going in with the number 4, even on the sides.
Okay. I wanted to see how everything was going down. So I was looking in the mirror while she cut the ponytail, while it was like the bob, and then from the bob, she just kept getting shorter and shorter. When I first saw my hair shaved, like when I put my earrings on, like I cried. I felt like it was just me. Oh my God.
No, wait, so you've had your hair cut short for a week. How did your like your immediate community react?
My mom loved it. My sister loved it. Everybody loved it. Everybody loved it.
My mom didn't like mine when I cut mine off at first.
Really?
She was like, why'd you cut it so low? I was like, why not?
Have you found that your own perceptions of femininity have changed, and also your community, your immediate people, the people around you, your friends and family. Has your buzzed head changed their perceptions of femininity?
I kind of feel like I always knew that a woman can be a woman no matter what she looked like. So actually being able to live it and do it, that kind of was freeing to me.
There are a lot of misconceptions that I think are associated with having no hair or a shaved head. Misconceptions or perceptions about your sexuality, probably being the main one.
I stopped myself all these years just because of what other people would say to me, or like how they would feel.
And I remember one of my friends asked another friend, like, oh my God, is she gay? And I was just
That's so wild. That
and
is-
like, one, if I was, why should it matter?
Right.
And then two, no.
Whether queer meaning your sexuality, queer meaning your interests, it's quirky, it's queer, it is not the norm. Or what people consider to be a social norm. And I don't think that that's necessarily a negative connotation.
Yeah.
How has short hair impacted your personal style?
For me, it's actually the opposite of what I'm wearing now. I'm very chill, edgy. I feel like my short hair has allowed me to focus more on like my face. I'll wear like more jewelry and then chill on the clothes.
I'm gonna say a name, and we'll start with you, Amanda. Tell me your first reaction. Amber Rose.
That's wifey. That's wifey. I put her on my screensaver. Like, I love Amber Rose just because of that buzz cut.
Britney Spears.
I would say bold,
Bold.
because she did it. She went with it.
Unapologetic.
Exactly, yeah, that's a good one, unapologetic.
Yeah. Emma Gonzalez.
Ooh, she's so like bold, powerful. I feel like with her buzz cut is just like, it puts the cherry on top of like badass, pretty much.
Fearless.
Fearless. She's like a good idol to look at for somebody who wants to get their hair shaved.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the rebel stereotype. Does having a buzzed head equate to being a rebel?
I never thought of it as rebellious, but I always thought that other people thought of it as rebellious. So like, I was really nervous about what a lot of older people would think, like my grandparents, like a lot of, cause like, when I first shaved it all off, my boyfriend's parents are older, they're like in their 70s. So I was like, what are they gonna think? I was like, they're gonna think I'm just like, I'm losing my mind. Like, I didn't know what they were gonna think.
But I'm glad you brought that up, because that's such a valid point when we go back to like the stereotype of Britney Spears and the mental breakdown. I'm going through something. So therefore, I have buzzed my head. What do you feel about the connotation of like breakdown, buzzed head? Aubrey.
I don't like it, because I feel like, why can't we just live our lives?
And you know what? That stereotype does not hold true for men. No one says,
I know.
oh, he buzzed his hair. John must be going
Exactly.
through something. So why is it that women have to adhere to this idea of, oh, if you cut your hair, you're all the way to the left. You're either losing it or you're like, F everyone.
My barber, the one who told me that he would never cut me bald, he was like, women are supposed to have hair. And I was like, interesting. And I never went back to him.
Right. Do any of you think you would ever go back to having longer hair?
Absolutely not.
Ooh, that
Never.
was strong. Why was that
Never.
so strong? Why
I
absolutely
love
not?
it. I don't know why. I just feel like it's me.
I'm not gonna say never. I just don't have the patience, so I don't see myself like waiting all these years for it to grow out when I can just go to the barbershop right now and just get it cut. So maybe someday, but right now, no. I like how it like frames my face. And,
I'm waiting for it to grow so I can just cut it in different styles and like work my way up until it gets longer. And if it gets longer, I'll probably just end up changing it again and doing it all over again.
Thank you all so much for being so candid and open and sharing your experiences having buzzed heads. To all the women with buzzed heads,